Hey guys, it is me, Tanya, founder of the TNG Designs Group Limited. I hope you're all keeping safe and well. Now, in today's video, we're going to be talking about what is business branding. So now, yes, there are differences between that and actually building your personal brand. And I will actually talk about that in another video. But for the purpose of this particular video, I want you guys to understand that there are really some key, especially three main points that I want to make sure that you're actually tapping into, especially when it comes to your business branding and understanding business branding as a whole, what it can do for you, your business, the growth of your business, the awareness of your business, and so forth. By the end of this video, you're going to be able to understand exactly those things, right? Because they're important, especially if you want to make sure that you are out here getting the awareness that you deserve, setting the reputation that you know you have, and equally making sure that what you're known for stays remembered consistently. Okay, so make sure you stick around to the end of this particular video, because as always, not only will you learn those things, but you're going to be getting a super cool gift from me to you. And I want to make sure that you actually take advantage of it, because it's super important for the growth of you and your business as well. So folks, without further ado, before you get stuck into this video, make sure you go ahead and like and subscribe to this channel, because I'm seeing all the views and I'm loving the views and I'm loving the support. But now I'd love to add on to that support by going ahead and subscribing to this channel as well. Please go ahead and keep sharing this information that I share with you so that others can also experience it too. So folks, without further ado, let's get stuck into it. So, as I said, we are going to be talking about what is business branding, right? So, business branding, first and foremost, the number one thing that you've always got to remember is this fact. Business branding is always about them and not you. And here's what I mean by that. So, when you're developing your brand, right, you're creating a brand or even rediscovering your brand, or maybe you're going for a rebrand in general when it comes to your business because of growth, right? It happens. It's naturally happening. You get to understand that your values are literally the outcomes that you want for your audience to have from your business or after experiencing you and your business, right? So it's about them. It's not about you. Now, I'm going to be talking about personal branding in a whole nother video that I'll make sure that you guys are aware of. So from that, you'll be able to understand what the differences are. But for this particular video, I want you to really understand the difference or the understanding of what branding or business branding is specifically. Because when you understand the fact that it's about them and not you, you get to make sure that the messages that you're putting out there are more specific to the audience that you're actually trying to reach, or making sure that you're standing in front of, right? And you've got to make sure as well that you're showing up in the right spaces. You know, I've spoken about this before about in a few other videos that I'll make sure I'll drop a little link above here so you can go ahead and tap into. But when you understand the fact that it's about them and not you, as I said, the messages that you're putting out there, the story that you're actually sharing will be super relevant to all of your audience that you're trying to reach. Okay. Now, when I say it's about them and not you, as I said, it's literally talking about the idea of values or the outcome that you want people to have from you and your business. That means when you're sharing things like the story that backs behind what you do and why you do what you do, essentially you're doing these things because you've experienced them and you don't want anybody else to experience them, right? So that means when you're building up this idea of what that story is, that story needs to be relevant to your audience. It needs to be relevant to them, all building on the idea of what you want the outcome for them to be. So say, for example, you're wanting the outcome to be freedom. I use freedom a lot. I think that's actually one of my values. No, I know that is one of my values, but it's freedom of time. It's freedom of peace of mind. It's freedom of making sure that, you know what, you can go do X, Y, and Z, but still make sure that you have a business that is running, a business that is making sure that you're staying on top of your own game, and equally a brand that is helping to drive the awareness, the message, and then some to your audience that is out there, right? So imagine your word is also freedom. And with freedom, you want to make sure that with the story or the reason why you're sharing what you're sharing gets really resonated with, because 9 times out of 10, the audience that you actually want to work with are the right audience because they resonate with your values, because they resonate with your story, they resonate with your reason why. So imagine that you also have a pain problem or a situation where people are feeling like they're getting drowned out by the noise of whatever else their competition is getting up to. They feel like their competition is up here, but at the same time, they are down here. For me, for my story, the reason why I do what I do, I used to think the same. But then I realized that, you know what, in time, or even the talent that I have, I'm actually above them. And here's why. It's because I actually stand out because I listen. It's because I actually stand out because I know how I can actually help the clients that I help by way of the system that I have, by way of not only the talent that I have, but by way of how I can make sure that I turn their stories around to make it super relevant to all of their clients and their audiences and so forth. So what is it for yourself, folks? Why do you do what you do? Why is it so important that you want to help others to make sure that they go ahead and do the same? For me, again, I want to make sure that I stand out so that others can also feel like they can stand out. So that others who not only look like me, feel the way I felt, and then some, can actually understand that there is a way forwards. And essentially, folks, through business branding, you're helping them to understand that there is a way forwards. We're helping them to move forwards. We're helping our audience to make sure that they know that there is a way out or a way beyond where they're feeling. Because they're in that pocket of pain, right? So when they're in that pocket of pain, what is your answer to help them to find their own way out? Think about that. When you understand what business branding is for you and your business specifically, you get to understand how you can help them out of that pocket of pain. You get to understand the reason why not only you do what you do, but it's about them, because you don't want them to feel like how you felt from your past, right? So your business branding will always touch base on these assets, but always touch base on the relevance that it has to your audience, because your audience is feeling a certain kind of a way that they now need help out of. Think about that. It's really super key and important to be able to understand that. Remember, it's always about them and it's not about you for the most part. Okay. So now what that kind of nicely leads onto is the idea of your mission, right? So for me, part of my mission is to make sure that others now see that they are more than what they see. Because here's why. When I am either training on stage, when I am actually delivering a keynote session, talking about the idea of branding, but really I'm talking about the idea of representation, because that's what it is for me. I not only want to help others see what they are and see that they are more than what they see, but I want to make sure that others are feeling like they have the ability or the permission. I'm giving them the permission to be able to go ahead and just do it. Because again, I didn't feel like I had the permission or I had the go or the get-go to be able to stand out in my own true way and be able to stand out as that female Black leader who is actually talking about with passion, by the way, delivering a message that others really, really need to hear so that they can go on and do the same. I want to make sure that people who look like me know that there is a way forward, know that they can actually have options, and yes, know that they deserve to also be in particular spaces. So yeah, there's a reason why I'm doing this, but you get what I mean. However, there are other videos actually I'm going to be sharing a little bit more about my story. And the reason why I want to make sure that that particular message gets shared as well is because it's something that actually was brought to my attention. And sometimes this was where I had to realize that I am actually more than what I also see of myself. And this was a while ago now. And at this particular event, I was training on stage, and literally at the end of my session, a lady came up to me, one of the delegates in this session, and she was saying to me, Tan, you know what? Thank you so much for delivering what you were delivering. It totally resonated with me. But more importantly, it was so good to see you up there, because now it makes me feel and understand that I need to do more myself. I need to make sure that also as another Black female leader, that I am also on a stage like that, if not bigger, if not, sharing my message with a wider audience, but it's something I need to be doing more. And you show me that it can be done, and you show me the way forwards, right? And until that moment, folks, I didn't realize the magnitude as to what me being on the stage actually represented. And it was at that point, really, that I then realized, Tan, do you know what? Representation, it's all about that and then some. And you need to be doing more than what you are, right? So that's my driver. That the fact that that lady came to me, and sometimes, folks, that's exactly it. Your audience has to remind you as to why you're doing what you're doing, right? So when you're building your business brand, especially, your audience is there as that little reminder to let you know that you're on the right track, to let you know that you need to keep going, and to let you know that, yes, this is it. This is what you need to make sure that you do more of. So there you go, folks. Business branding, yes, it's similar to personal branding. However, there are differences for sure. And yes, there is a video that I have actually shared before, but this goes into a little bit more depth because I really want you to understand that part. So when you're sharing your business brand with the masses, make sure that you are always making sure that you are known for specific things. And that comes by way of your message, that comes by way of how you're standing up and showing up, even more importantly, to represent your brand. And that comes by understanding what your business brand is in the first place. So, folks, I'm going to leave it there. What I do want to make sure that you do is you go ahead and tap into my guide. Now, when you click on the link in the description box, you're going to understand and be taken to, in fact, a really super cool guide that will allow you to understand what these assets are for you in your business brand. They'll allow you to understand how you can start making those better connections, especially start building on a message that really resonates with your audience so that you can start showing up more, because more and more people need to see and understand you, see and understand that there is a way forward, and equally see and understand that you are the best person to make sure that they can get there to that next level. So, folks, go ahead and tap into that guide. Let me know how you get on with it. Even more so, make sure you go ahead and like and subscribe to this channel. And folks, I will see you on the other side.